Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm ready. You're ready, Jeff.
Is that good?
Sir.
Okay.
Ready to go?
You cool?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right. Well, welcome, Sarah, to the Grove.
Thanks for having me.
Bringing your guitar.
Yeah, I brought it.
How often do you get out to LA? How much fun is an LA trip for you?
I love coming to LA. I actually used to live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Right out of high school, actually, when I was about 18. So it's been about 6 years, but I love visiting here. I've got good friends here.
Yeah.
The weather's always lovely.
Usually cooperates. Yeah.
Usually cooperates. Yeah.
But you're from Texas.
From Texas,
Yeah.
Dallas, yeah.
How much does Texas and being from Texas influence your music and who you are? Is there a sense of place with what you do?
Absolutely. I think, just I have a really large family that it's just my backbone, and they're also my friends, and so I have a hard time leaving Texas, but it's always just welcomes me back every time. I always get really excited coming home. I love it. I'm really proud to be from a good place and a good family. So, yeah.
What's the musical community like in Texas in terms of musical friends, people you hang out with, the shows with?
Well, I'm living in Denton, Texas right now, which is a little bit north of Dallas, and the community there is, it's small, but it's flourishing. It's really amazing, and I think there's a lot to be said for just musicians because they're really successful, and they're also they remain humble and just really grounded, and I like being a part of that and having that kind of accessible community that you could just go to your neighbor's house and have them play on your record. And I just love that. I love that community, and it's a good thing.
Talk about remaining humble and grounded. You've had...
No, it was a reflection off that. But can you just point the guitar a little bit more? But
Is that okay?
Just because it's reflecting on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead and pick that up.
Douglas. Just that, what were we talking about? Texas. Oh, staying humble and grounded. How have you remained humble and grounded with all this success you've had the last couple of years, and people have been saying wonderful things about your music and about who you are? How has that affected you personally?
I think at times it's a weird experience to garner any sort of outside acknowledgement. But at the same time, I love what I do, and so when someone does acknowledge it in a positive way, it's lovely. It's really nice, and it can do something weird, or it can do something kind of expand your ego a little bit at times. But I think the only thing that keeps me good is my friends and my family and the people that I work with, and so I just kind of go back to them for that when I kind of freak out a little bit. So, which happens. It happens.
Right.
So.
What happens when you freak out?
I just shut down. But I try not to let it go there. I feel like I've learned at least just to kind of just slowly go through it and enjoy each moment as it comes. So I think enjoying each moment is a huge lesson.
Yeah. And how much is songwriting a part of that? Are you the kind of person that shuts away and writes songs for months at a time? Are you always writing daily in notebooks? How do you write?
It comes in spurts. There will be months at a time where there's nothing, and I'm just kind of like operating on this really logical level where I'm just doing laundry and like cooking and just doing normal things.
Yeah.
And then other periods of time like where I'm just completely in that zone where I'm just writing constantly and kind of not socializing at all and just staying in my house. And I think that's, I know a lot of my friends as writers, they do write every day, and I just can't. I don't know how they do it. I've always wanted to, but when I force it, it just doesn't come the way that I'd like it. So it's a kind of it comes and goes in waves. So,
yeah. And a lot of the stuff you write is personal. You sing your personal things and some dark songs. And where does that when that comes from you? How does that end up on the page? And how emotional is that process for you to kind of purge either on stage or on paper?
It's depending on how the situation ended or began, or what have you. It can be a strange thing. Writing is weird, especially for me because it happens really quickly. Which for me makes sense because I'm a very impulsive person, so it becomes very impulsive, very quick, and all of a sudden it just makes sense. And it may not make sense coming out, but like when I play it as a whole or live, all of a sudden it's kind of evolved into something. This entire story of of what I've already been through. So, but I love, I think one of my favorite things about doing this is the live aspect of it.
Yeah.
Performing it for people and the relation between the audience and myself. So it's cool. I like it.
And how cool is it to see what the audience takes away from those songs then when you're up there on stage?
It's interesting. I mean, a lot of people will have like different takes on something that was a certain way for me. So I love that as well. I think it's one of the gifts of getting to do what I do. And so when a person comes to me and says, you know, this helped me through whatever, or I always thought this song was about this, and I found out that you wrote it about that. I love that. You know, it never gets old to me, so it's cool.
And this is such a cool new release because it's something that some artists maybe even wouldn't put it out till farther on in their career in terms of demos and alternate takes.
Yes, it was a little ballsy.
Yeah, it was. Where did that come from you? What gave you the guts to kind of, because it's great, what gave you the guts to do that?
I think, well, for me it was a transitional period, and I wanted to show that. And, you know, I just gotten off of a tour, a really long tour, and I hadn't been home in a really long time, and I was just in a creative rut, and so I wanted to almost show that, and the process that I was kind of going through as a musician and just wanting to grow in a different way and expand. And so that's pretty much the only, that was the only goal of this, was just to show that and to also put out a couple of covers with that, and in the process we decided to combine it with a DVD. So, yeah.
For people that either are real fans of yours already, this is a treasure to behold. And to get to know you, it's really cool also, because you kind of give a lot of yourself to people pretty early on.
I'm excited. Thank you. I'm excited about it. I think I'm proud of it. I know it's kind of weird, and like you said, it did seem kind of soon at first, but I was proud of it. It felt right. It felt like the right kind of like to fill in the gap between the next full length. So it's cool.
Well, growing up as a music lover, I'd always go for the alternate take or the demo. It's something that was
alternate
cool.
Versions. The B-sides.
Right. Or even now on an iPod playlist, I'll grab the alternate jazz take or something instead of the other one, just because it feels cool. The whole process of it.
I completely agree. I'm the same way.
Yeah. And the DVD portion of this, just talk a little bit about how you combine the live footage with some behind-the-scenes stuff and giving people kind of a sneak peek into what you're about.
Sure. The DVD just came about just through talking to my manager, John Collins, a very cool gentleman that directed my first video for Clementine from Suburban Nature. I had this really great show in this amazing theater in Dallas called the Weissler Theater. And it was so beautiful that we kind of wanted to take advantage of it, and John filmed it. And so while all of this kind of pre-production was going on, I just thought it'd be cool to combine the two, to have like this audio and visual footage together, and kind of edit in just tour footage and like footage of me and my friends hanging out like in between tours and just the traveling and all that kind of stuff. So all together it kind of made 45 minutes of me.
Right. But how cool is that now to have that documented?
It's really cool. I seeing it all together was just, just kind of brought things to the forefront for me. Just kind of seeing the past year of my life, and kind of like slapped me in the face, like a well-deserved slap in the face. Like, this is what you're doing, and you know, you have made progressions, and you're doing the right thing. And so it was cool to see it all together, and just my friend Will Bryant did the packaging and the artwork, and just seeing it all together is just a beautiful thing for me.
That's very cool. Yeah. Very cool. And going from this on to something new, what can we look forward to, and your fans look forward to after this release in terms of excuse me, in terms of
sorry.
Just moving forward from this in terms of new music, what can we expect and look forward to?
Right now I'm working with John Congleton in the studio, who I worked with on my last 2 releases, and he's just unbelievable. I started recording back with him last month in September, and I'll go back again in November. And I'm really, really excited. I mean, I feel like it's just such it's organic for me. It's an organic change, but it's definitely vastly different from the last records that I've done. So, in those terms, I feel really great about this release, and really proud of the musicians that played on it, and just working with John again is, I think, Just been a blast. He's such a genius producer and a good friend. So yeah.
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me. You're sitting here holding this guitar.
Yes.
Just, you're very young still, and you started when you were very young. Just for people that don't know, just talk about the first time you picked up a guitar and how young you were, because you were recording at a pretty young age.
Yeah, my mom actually was the first one I begged for musical instruments, from the time I was 3, and my mother bought me my first guitar when I was 9 from a garage sale down the street from where we lived. And, I'd played other instruments. I went through, piano lessons and hated it. Now I wish I would have stuck with it.
Yeah.
A few other things, and guitar was just the one that stuck, and just started playing right away, and I thought I was inventing notes. I didn't understand the concept of chords, really. So I was just playing what I thought sounded good, and later I found out it was a D or a G or whatever, and so I just kind of started writing right away. It just came initially, and as soon as I was allowed to play bars and small clubs, I'd bring my parents along, and I would, and it was all in the Dallas area, Dallas scene, and so it's been a steady progression since I was about 17. So, and I've loved it all along. So never grown tired of it. I wouldn't do anything else.
And you have such an amazing voice, literally and figuratively, but an amazing singing voice. When did you know you had something special there to go along with the guitar?
I never felt like not to be self-effacing or anything.
Right.
I never thought that I had anything special. I always felt like I was doing something that felt exactly right for me. So I've always known that. I guess just because I haven't loved anything else the way that I've loved this. I know that it feels right when I'm performing and when I'm writing, and so yeah, I guess it's just something that I've always known. So.
Dream artist you'd love to share a stage with or share a recording studio with, someone you'd love to work with?
A lot. I love Leonard Cohen a lot. I think he's unreal as a writer. I'm a huge fan of St. Vincent's new record. I'd love to play with her. Annie. God, there's a lot. Radiohead? Is that too much?
There you go. Put it out there.
Yeah, a lot. There's a ton of artists that I love. So.
And in terms of the future, in terms of things like Grammy nominations and awards and that kind of attention, what does that mean to you as an artist? All these things that will and should be coming your way. How much of that do you let yourself think about?
I can't think about it. Yeah, if that's anywhere in my realm or in my future, then that's amazing. It's completely unexpected, but I think I don't think that it's in my realm right now, but if it is, that's great. But yeah, as long as I can travel and play and continue to write, I think that's my main concern. As long as I can continue to be a healthy writer and kind of stay on that track, then I'm good with that. So, yeah.
And on the fun side of things, you're one of the cooler looking artists that we get to talk to. Just how much fun is that sense of style and getting dressed and doing the videos and that whole side of things?
Thank you. I love it. I think it's nice to look nice. So, and it's also nice to feel you. And it's taken a long time to kind of come into my own as far as style and fashion and all that. And there was a lot of awkward periods, and sometimes I still feel really awkward. But I like it. It's good to feel good about yourself. So yeah.
As you should. And lastly, just how proud are you of this now that it's out there for the world?
I'm really excited about it, and excited that the people that I love and the musicians that I'm proud of personally are a part of it. So I feel like it's hopefully there's more to come. So yeah.
Very cool. I'm sure there will be.
I hope so.
All right. Cool, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like in the colorway of that
Yeah.
background there.
We'll just do a little thing into camera, like I'm here with Sir Jaffe kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And then maybe I'll just do something like, and you're going to give us some kind of special performance or something. If you could just start playing a little bit, just for fun, the second I finish. Okay. And then we'll stop and I'll let
just
you
right
do your real
finish?
thing. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, by the way. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. No, my pleasure.
Okay, good to go.
All right, let's see. Yeah, hey Mario, thanks. I'm here at the Grove with the amazing Sarah Jaffe, who's giving us a special performance today. Cool, let me do it one more time, a little differently.
Are you going to be with her for the whole performance?
No, so you can come off of me.
Okay.
It's for the intro, then we'll cut to something else and come back to it anyways.
Stand by. And you're ready when you are.
Yeah, hey Mario, I'm here with Sarah. One more time. Yeah, hey Mario, I'm here with the amazing Sarah Jaffe, who's kicking off this weekend's music mix. Cool. That work? You ready? All right.
Cool.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm rolling when you're ready.
You're such a baby. It's just a nosebleed. Leave me for a while so you can go and cry. Did not say that. You make it up. Twist my words around. Flip them upside down. Cannot stay here. You must go home. It's nearly 3 o'clock, and now I'm seeing sparks. Wait, me up just to call me Sleeping Beauty. Oh, fine, that's fine. I got my hands up. I'm feeling vulnerable. One more message, it could not hold. So you go option B. Drive 20 miles to see me at my worst. Then off to work. Think of random things to say. Then leave me for the day. Wait. Be up just to call me Sleeping Beauty. Oh, fine. That's fine. I got my hands up. I'm feeling vulnerable. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh. All your theories, my end, so complex all the time. You try to hit my mind, but what about you? You're so great, and everything you tell is what keeps me coming back. Wait, be up. Just to call me Sleeping Beauty. Oh, fine. That's fine. I got my hands up. I'm feeling vulnerable. Oh, wait. Be up. Just to call me Sleeping Beauty. Oh, fine. side. See, I never let down and I never let go. Guess that means I'm invisible. All the time I really miss my pride. And I'm living black coast, living black coastline. Wherever you left me, that's where my heart still lies. Once at night where I reside, I lay there still where I want to cry. Broke the bed at its mattress springs. I told him I'll break the bread, but I'll hog the wine. Gather round, it's forgetting time. Oh, I really miss my pride. I'm living black coast, living black coastline. Wherever you left me, that's where my heart still lies. Wherever you left me, that's where my heart still lies.